Today's focus is the award-winning Community Empowerment Grant Program. B.E.S.T developed the grant program in 2009 to help fund events, projects, activities that would enrich the lives of the families in the Round Lake area community. B.E.S.T Community Empowerment Grants are designed as mini grants for community groups, student groups, nonprofit organizations, and or individuals who have an activity, event, program that will enrich the lives of youth, families, and the community, and also which incorporates the 6 pillars of character counts. A subcommittee reviews each grant application and presents its recommendations to the executive board. To date, B.E.S.T has awarded nearly $7,000 in community grants. Funding for the Community Empowerment Grant Program is made possible with proceeds from the annual Chili Supper, which is presented in partnership with the Round Lake Area Exchange Club, in which about 1,700 attend annually. Also, funding is received from proceeds from the annual Back to School Festival in partnership presented with Mano Mano, and we usually see approximately 1,500 people at that event as well. I would like to acknowledge the officers of B.E.S.T and the executive committee for their volunteer time that they put in as leadership roles. Pete Molidor, Vice President, Judy Armstrong, Secretary, Kathy Myers, Immediate Past President, and also serving on the Executive Board is Wendy Warden as Membership Chair, and Georgianne Duberstein as Public Awareness Chair. In 2011, B.E.S.T was a recipient of a Governor's Cup Finalist and Hometown Award for the Community Empowerment Grant Program. You are about to find out how the grant recipients are making a difference in the Round Lake area. Please welcome Shirley Christian, Chair of the Grant Program and longtime member of B.E.S.T.
Yes, and I am on the executive board as the chair of the Grant Empowerment and the Community Empowerment Grant. It is such an exciting position. It's wonderful. We get a chance to review all these applications, and the ideas that are generated in this community are wonderful. And so we, as Elena said, we've awarded several of them. We have 9 to honor today, but I'd like to just acknowledge the subcommittee for the grant. That's Amy Onan, Marla Rodas, and Tom and myself. Thank you very much for all your work. What we're trying to do today, what we're going to do, is to recognize 9 of our grant recipients. One of them was awarded in 2011, but we never had a chance. We didn't have a breakfast last year, so we didn't have a chance to have them share their information. Each of the grant recipients, as I call them, there's a sheet on your table, and I'd like them to come up and just give us 2 to 3 minutes to tell us about what they've done with the grant money that we have. And please take time before you leave to go around. We have displays set up on the tables, and they'll be there. If you have any questions, you just ask them, but you get a chance to see some of the things that have been taking place in this community. Our first project, I'd like to call up Nancy Radford. Nancy is with NACASA, and she's going to explain about the NACASA Summer Reading Program. Oh, all right, okay. All right.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. First of all, I want to say thank you for inviting us to this event. I am Pablo Arcos, and I'm here on behalf of NICASA and the after-school programs that we run in the Round Lake community. I ask you to forgive me, but I will take the dare to read what I have to say this morning. NICASA is a social service agency in Lake County that empowers and promotes healthy lifestyles to prevent risky behavior. I personally work in the prevention department, where we focus on youth by promoting healthy lifestyles, teaching them life skill lessons, and helping them to succeed academically throughout after-school programs. However, all the work we do wouldn't be possible without the help and collaboration of other agencies, groups, and individuals in our communities. The B.E.S.T Coalition is one of those groups that make our jobs easier, and we are thankful to have the support of this organization. Almost 2 years ago, during the summer of 2011, we applied for a mini grant to purchase books for the students that participated in our after-school program during the summer. We were lucky to be the recipients of that grant, and thanks to that, we were able to purchase books for over 120 participants. Every single student was able to get a book and read during our summer program. After the program was done, the students were able to keep these books and take them home. The books were chosen based on reading level of each student, but also to illustrate the 6 pillars of character: respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, trustworthiness, and citizenship. All I want to say is thank you to the B.E.S.T Coalition for making this possible. Today, we have 4 of our amazing students that are currently participating in our after-school program. They're here to share these experiences with you. The first student I want to welcome is Reina Zabal from Jantimaki.
My name is Rina Sawa. I am 12 years old and I'm in 7th grade and I attend Jantimaki Middle School. I am in the Nikasa After School program and I also attend Civic. I would like to thank you for allowing me to take part in the Nikasa summer program. I'm also thankful for all the free time the teachers give us. And then during the summer program, I read The Tales of the 4th Grade Nothing by Judy Bloom. The book is about a boy named Peter Hatcher. He has a younger brother named Riley. He prefers to go by Fudge. He is 2 years old. Peter hates or dislikes Fudge. In the story, Peter goes to a birthday party and he wins a pet turtle and he names him Dribble. A couple weeks later, Dribble is gone and Fudge claims he ate him. Peter's parents take Fudge to the hospital. Unfortunately, Dribble died. Peter gets all sad, but Peter's always wanted a dog. He gets a dog and names him Turtle and never gets food. By being able to read in the Nikasa summer program, I learned reading out loud and to pause after period and pronunciate words. I also learned you shouldn't read if you don't understand what you're reading about. This program encouraged me to read more, and I am glad I had this opportunity. I would like to thank you for allowing me to come and be a part of the celebration and for me to share my experience.
Thank you very much. Our next student is Ivan Rianos from Rowley High School.
Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Ivan Rianos and I'm 16 years old and I attend the Rowley High School. I want to thank the B.E.S.T Coalition for inviting us to this breakfast. I've been in Nikasa since I was in 6th grade. Ever since then, the Nikasa staff has been motivating me to read frequently. I also joined the summer program where you do fun activities, yet you do some reading and school stuff. 2 years ago, the B.E.S.T Coalition sponsored us to get books. They gave us a variety of books to choose from. The book I chose was Holes. Holes is a very interesting book. I want to thank again the B.E.S.T Coalition for sponsoring us and giving us some great books to read. Since then, I read more often than before. The 8+ program is a great motivation to keep my grades up. I motivate people to join the after-school program, not just for fun, but for other teens to get help on any subject they need help with. Well, thank you again for inviting me. I hope everybody has a great day.
Maria Serrata from Rowley High School.
Good morning and thank you for inviting us to this event. My name is Maria Estrada. I am 15 years old and I am a student at Rowley Senior High School. I would like to thank the B.E.S.T Coalition and Nikasa for giving me the opportunity to read more books with the grant we received from B.E.S.T Coalition in the summer of 2013. I enjoyed reading The Outsider. It was an interesting book. It showed me not to give up on yourself no matter where you live or your background. I honestly read more now than before because of the Nikasa staff encouraged us to read as much as possible. Reading more books helped me with my fluency and to have a better understanding of the book I was reading. I want to thank CASA for giving me the opportunity to be part of that after-school program, and I also want to give a special thanks to the B.E.S.T Coalition for supporting CASA by providing the grant that made it possible to purchase the books that we read in the summer of 2011. Again, thank you for inviting us to this event.
Jennifer Maldonado.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jennifer Maldonado, and I'm a Round High School student that participated in CASA's A+ program. I am very grateful for the opportunity you are giving me to share my experience with all of you. CASA has taught me valuable skills during the 2 years that I have participated in the program. I have learned that reading is very important, not only to me, but to everyone around me. Reading is special because it gives you the power to be knowledgeable and make your own judgments. During the CASA, I also learned to encourage not only my peers, but myself to continue reading books. Since then, I have done a great job of keeping my mind at peace with books. Books have helped me when I'm stressed to keep me calm. Thank you, B.E.S.T Coalition, for providing us books and helping us become better readers. I would also like to thank the CASA for giving us the opportunity to learn new and better ways to succeed. Thank you for your time.
That was great. All right. Our next project, I'd like to call up Chris Kubik and his group from the Rachel's Challenge from Grace Lake North High School.
Thank you, Shirley. I'm Chris Kubik, a social studies teacher at Grace Lake North High School. With me are two of my all-star students, Daniela Padilla and Haley Friedel. I'll tell you kind of the boring details, and you can learn what the really exciting part of the program is from them. Imagine a program that has an hour-long assembly and 1,500 plus teenagers dead silent at the end. Imagine a program that makes a palpable change in the hallways, in the way the teenagers interact with each other in classes. That's what Rachel's Challenge did, and it was the B.E.S.T grant that helped to make that possible. We had the assembly for the school last October. A year ago, October. We also had an evening event for community members and parents. Then we had a follow-up program. Since then, we have branched off into other areas because Rachel's Challenge is so consistent with the values that we already believe in and seek to establish even more deeply at Grace Lake North. And the girls can tell you more about how we've been following up on this program. And thank you for your support.
Hi everyone, thanks for having us. So just to give you a little bit of information about Rachel's Challenge, it all started from Rachel Scott, her family. She was the first to die in the Columbine shooting in 1999, and her family, after going through her belongings, after reading her diary entries and seeing all the inspiring stuff that she wrote, they decided that they needed to show somebody this. So they decided to make Rachel's Challenge. And they go nationally from school to school, and they do these assemblies that alter the school completely. And Danielle is going to talk a little bit about some of the programs that have started Rachel's Challenge.
With the B.E.S.T grant that we got, although we still aren't using Rachel's Challenge, the name, throughout our school, it has brought different programs like B.E.S.T Buddies that's been around, and that's for special needs kids. And we've had Voices and many different programs, and PSB, which we are a part of, does a lot for our school. And making sure that things that we learned in Rachel's Challenge is shown throughout the school. So with the grant, that's what we got from Rachel's Challenge.
The Rachel's Challenge organization is pretty explicit that it's not an anti-bullying program, it's not an anti-anything program. It's a pro-understanding and pro-community building program. The argument is, as students learn to appreciate each other and understand that they have more in common than they have in different, then there will automatically be less fighting and less depression, more support, less bullying. And so that's what we're finding in Grace Lake North. So we've, like I said, branched out many different areas and followed up with a number of programs, and we'd be happy to tell you about it. Be sure to stop by our booth in the corner. Again, thank you to B.E.S.T for having us and for the support.
The next project is an all-star camboree that was held this last summer. And Ray, would you like to Benedict is spearheaded this.
Good morning, everybody. Before I start going any further, I just like to see how many people have been involved in Scouts or have children in Scouts. Hands up. A good room of people, that's good. Okay, I'm an Eagle Scout, and I have 2 7-year-old son twins currently in Scouting. I also serve as their den leader with PAC 199 in the Round Lake area. I began with a concept of expanding exposure of Scouting to the public. I hope for transparency and easier access to Scouting for our local community. This gave birth to the idea of having an all-Scout camporee, which the public could come and see what Scouts do. For me, it was easy to conceive the practicality of the land north of Round Lake Beach Village Hall and the Civic Center grounds here. Also, the geographic location in Westlake County was perfect. I believe in how timing is essential. It was in late 2011 that our community was looking at 2012 as being the Round Lake Beach 75th anniversary. This gave fitting theme to work under. I am truly blessed to have remained contact with so many people to guide this project and assist in making it possible. Village officials, sponsors, media, businesses, friends, and other Scout leaders. We had road signs, flyers, business marquees, and good media coverage. I don't know how much of the public had attended, but I know that they were present. For a first time, never done before at this level, special event, I felt it turned out fantastic. We had approximately 200 to 300 Scouts camped out throughout the weekend and 300 to 500 Scouts participating Saturday during the event. The weather was absolutely great and there was plenty of activities, food, and fun. The budget-wise, we collected $1,650 and spent $1,645, leaving a balance of $5, which we turned over to PAC 199. So that's really cunning. The main source of funds came from the B.E.S.T grant, which made the most important entity to the success of this experience. I since have been told by many people how much fun and what a positive experience they had at the camporee. As an example, I was told several months later by a young lady who was a local Venture Scout that when she was at the camporee, she enjoyed our local radio station, RLR's live broadcast, and because of that, she received an internship with the radio station. On behalf of Round Lake Beach 75th Anniversary All-Scout Camporee, I would like to say thank you to B.E.S.T for helping make it possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, our next project is the Young Authors Project. And that it was through the village around Lake Beach. And let's see, Lynette, are you here to share that with us? Oh, there she is.
And can everybody hear me if I do it without the mic? Sure. Everybody good? Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Lynette Bennis, and I was the co-chairman along with Margie Cleveland for the Young Authors Program. The Young Authors Program was part of the 75th anniversary of celebration of Round Lake Beach that we celebrated last year. I want to begin this morning by saying thank you on behalf of the committee and all of the young authors that were empowered to become better writers. Because of the B.E.S.T grant, we were able to encourage, recognize, and reward the creative writing efforts of children in our community. I want to be sure to give credit to our committee members. They were Margie Cleveland, myself, Thea DeBolt, Clarice Ornstein, Lynn Pfeiffer, and Carol Shook. We met on an as-needed basis while we were planning this, and towards the end of our program, it became weekly. Our plan was to task 4th and 5th grade students who currently live in Round Lake Beach to write a creative essay on one of the following topics. What do you think it was like to live in Round Lake Beach in 1937? What's your current experience of living in Round Lake Beach? Or what do you think it might be like to live here in another 75 years? We promoted our program through the village's website. This was on a Civic Center marquee. We spoke with individual teachers. We had meetings with the Round Lake School District. Bookmarks were dropped off at all local area schools. And there was also a display in the library, in the children's section of the Round Lake Library, on the history of Round Lake Beach. So the kids could go there, check it out, and if they were going to write a historical piece, kind of maybe get inspired by it. We had a total of 9 participants. Both Round Lake School District and Lake Villa were represented. The children's accomplishments were celebrated by an ice cream party at Orlando's. The children were given the opportunity to make their own sundae. Everybody had their books bound. Everybody received a t-shirt. They got goodie bags filled with pool passes, bookmarks, notepads, pencils, frisbees, and beach balls. They were also given a certificate of participation for their work with the young authors. And meeting at Orlando's gave everybody, the kids, a chance to show off their stories to local village officials. In September, the kids were honored at a village board meeting by the mayor and trustees, and in October, their stories were printed in the Harvest Moon Galas program. In summary, this grant allowed the young authors to feel empowered by receiving positive recognition for their work that went above and beyond normal classroom work. I want to extend a heartfelt thank you for making this Young Authors event possible.
Thank you very much, Lona. All right, our next project is the Round Lake Middle School 7th grade trip to Springfield. Matt, would you introduce us to students you'd like to run on with you? All right.
Good morning. My name is Matt Skya. I'm a teacher over at Round Lake Middle School. I'm also the coordinator for our 7th grade Springfield trip that we have done now for 3 years. I would like to thank B.E.S.T for providing the grant to help pay for 25 scholarships that we offered to students this year. Students had to write an essay on why they should be selected for a scholarship, and we were lucky enough with the money, with the grant, to provide that opportunity to 25 of our students. Also, as part of the Springfield experience, our students were required to complete a project that went along with the trip. And the trip is also a great opportunity for our students to get hands-on history. The young ladies to the left of me will tell you a little bit about their experiences on the trip in just a second. But the places we visit on the trip tie in with our 7th and 8th grade social studies curriculum, which makes, when we start teaching those things, such as the Illinois Constitution, our teachers are able to relate back to the trip and talk about the experiences the kids had. And also in 8th grade, when the kids study about Lincoln and the Civil War, their experiences from the trip also helped them with that material as well. So I'm going to turn it over to Ashley Frazier and Alexandra Ramirez, and they will talk about their experiences on the trip.
Hi, good morning. I'd like to say thank you for B.E.S.T for sponsoring my trips and other students that went along with me. We had the chance to go and see Abraham Lincoln's tomb, his house, and Abraham Lincoln's museum. My favorite part of the trip was seeing his museum and his home, because you actually got to see how he would have lived if he were still alive. And then in Abraham Lincoln's museum, we got to actually interact with his history, because they had some, wax figures of how his family lived, how he would have been when he was a young child, in the White House. It was just a very fun experience to actually be able to see everything that would have happened. Like I said, thank you very much for sponsoring us. And the project that I did a report on how Abraham Lincoln's life would have been, because of the museum. It gave me so many different interesting facts about it that I just wanted to put it everywhere. So I did a report on how he lived throughout his life, his childhood, his adulthood, White House, and then his tragic death. Thank you.
go on the trip. And we went to 4 locations when we were going to Springfield. And one of them I'm going to talk to you about is the Lincoln's tomb, where we got to see where his family was buried and how he was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth. And it was just like really cool because how it was all planned out, his assassination, and yeah, and my project ended on how Lincoln was a poster board about how he was assassinated, and I just want to thank B.E.S.T for giving us the opportunity to go to Springfield.
Thank you very much. And hearing all that about Abraham Lincoln just brings something to mind. You know, Grays Lake Heritage Center has a visiting exhibit of Abraham Lincoln, and it is tremendous. So if you get an opportunity to go to the Heritage Center to see that, we're just only one of 11 sites that have been chosen to have this exhibit. So it's really quite an honor for us to be able to have that. So please take some time. It runs through what year until June 16th or 15th? Thank you. All right. Our next project is an equipment replacement, which was very necessary for the Boy Scouts of America troop. Jody, do you want to come up here and tell us about that?
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to the B.E.S.T committee for their donation for an equipment replacement for our troop. You can imagine the horror of a Boy Scout troop getting ready for a camping trip, getting their trailer from a locked storage facility, a locked trailer, and finding that their trailer was broken into and all of their tent equipment was stolen. All of their, anything metal that was in their equipment trailer was stolen. And the opportunity that it gave to give them exposure to how cruel the world can be. But this B.E.S.T committee grant gave them the opportunity to see how a community can come together and help support them in their time of need. I also wanted to introduce Mr. Paul Social, who's here with me today. He's our Scout Master in charge of Boy Scout Troop 275. Sponsored by American Legion Post 1170 in Round Lake Park. The boys also, to help replace the tents with a donation from the B.E.S.T, kind of helps to give them the incentive to raise additional funds to purchase additional pieces of equipment. These tents are very necessary for the Scouts to use on their campouts. When we go on campouts, it helps to teach them social skills, which in this world now is very, very important. A lot of children spend time playing video games or in front of a computer, and they lose that social skill of interaction face-to-face, how to get along with others, and you don't always get your way. I personally have had the opportunity to go on a camp out and see a Scout cook his first pancake, whether it be a little dark on both sides, but the sense of accomplishment that he has making that pancake. Starting a fire with just a few sticks or even one match. Learning how to play a game, tying a knot, learning how to swim. I've seen many boys learn how to swim. I just want to say thank you very much for inviting me to the breakfast. I just wanted to read a little something that I had prepared. You know, the Boy Scouts' purpose is simple. It's to build character, integrity of America's youth and prepare them to become responsible adults. Adults who are leaders and adults who participate in society according to our Scout oath and our Scout law. That oath and law are founded in trustworthiness, loyalty, and bravery, and on the values that put community and family first. I say with great pride that we are the Boy Scouts of America, and we are committed to giving young people the tools and experiences and the knowledge and faith to make the world a better place. Our Scouts last year did over 350 hours worth of community service in Round Lake. Scouting provides youth with an opportunity to try new things, provide service to others, build self-confidence, and reinforce the ethical standards that we present to them. These opportunities not only help them when they are young, but carry forward into their adult lives, improving their relationships, their work lives, their family lives, and the values in which they live. Boy Scouts are also very loyal to their families, scout leaders, friends, school, and nation. Youth who have been in Scouts value their country and their family, and as Lee had mentioned, a lot of you raised your hands and you're involved in various scouting movements, and you realize the personal sense that you feel to your country and to your community. There is an importance to being kind, and Scouts know that. A Scout treats others as he wants to be treated because he's concerned about other people. At every meeting, we recite the Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. And closely related to our oath, the Scout law states a Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Individually, the words in the oath and law are simple, but collectively they become words that we live by. These principles, along with others, make Scouting more than what we do, but rather who we are and what we will be. We are the Boy Scouts of America. Thank you.
All right, our next project is a kindergarten project, and it's terrific. I understand, and I'm very happy to introduce Clarice Ornstein and her group.
Good morning. I'm a kindergarten teacher at the Early Education Center, and perhaps I could also rename my grant Bringing Early Education Students Technology, because the B.E.S.T grant provided an iPad for my classroom. With me today is Mrs. Paddock, who also brings her personal iPad on Wednesdays during our literacy block, and she's very savvy with the iPad and has helped me, so I've learned from her as well. And we share apps. And Mrs. Jermalowitz is also a friend and president of the Grace Lake Exchangettes. She's also a Wednesday iPad volunteer, and I get her using apps and closing apps and opening apps, and she's maneuvering around the iPad with my kindergarten students too to find apps for reading skills especially. Loretta Weber, many of you know, she's my teaching assistant. She went back to the classroom so I could stay here. And she's been phenomenal working with technology every day in my classroom. And I had another parent, Michelle, who moved with her family to Tampa just last week, so she's not here today. But she was there every Tuesday to work with the iPad with enrichment for kids that were already reading in my classroom. So, but the terrific part came from the pillars, the acronym for the pillars of character counts. And we started with early in October, I think, looking at character count songs on YouTube, which I wasn't able to access with my one student laptop in the classroom. So we brought those songs into the classroom, and then, believe it or not, the Wizard of Oz exhibit was at the Coles Children's Museum, and we used the characters from Wizard of Oz to teach the anti-bullying message, like the lion, stand up, have courage, stand up to bullies. The Tin Man was have heart, show that you're caring. And the Scarecrow was use your brain and be safe. And so we also use iPad to store lots of photos and document artwork. And Mrs. Weber's husband had a pumpkin that was being eaten by an animal. And so her photo on her iPhone showed the kids. That's where it triggered our whole investigation, which was on the stand-up display over there. So we used iPad to do research because they never thought about any animal eating a pumpkin. Pumpkins are for jack-o'-lanterns, you know. And, so that went off in a whole lot of directions with the iPad. And then I I was able to, we also wrote a book then and illustrated the book by the children who's eating Mr. Weber's pumpkin. And I was able to use the iPad to archive all the students' original work because the original artwork per guidelines went to Scholastic to enter a book contest. So we're waiting to find out if we're winners. But the book was a winner either way. And so then moving forward recently, we went to Germano's Pizzeria in Round Lake. They donated pizzas for all the class. So then working with the Coles Museum and project-based learning, we had to bring that back to the classroom then and make our own pizzeria. And so they had to apply for jobs. And I know I'm talking fast, but I have so much to share. This is one of the boys that, and what I was excited about was when they applied for the jobs in the pizzeria, was that they used the pillars of character counts. So he said, first of all, they had to state their name. Do you have a driver's license? They all told the truth. No one said that they had a driver's license. They all told me they were 6, even though Penny said they could work at Germano's if they were 16. But Wyatt says, I'm looking forward to making pizzas for others. That's why I want to work at Mrs. O's Pizza to Go. I've had experience making dough. I know how to spread sauce and put the cheese on and toppings for them, and if they want some. I am trustworthy. Another one put, I'm good at math and I want to be a cashier. I'm polite and I'm very respectful. Because I need a job and I never worked there, never worked before, I'd like to make, I can make good pizzas. I've had experience. Another one just said, because I like doing stuff, I clean my room and I like cleaning and I'm responsible, and if I say please, I think the kids will do what I say. I think. I like going to Germano's and I know how to make a pizza. I'm respectful, but at math I can count money at the pizzeria. And anyway, it's very great for me to see that they're using the pillars of character counts in their own language near the end of the year. And I have a night deposit person that wears a blue visor for the color for trustworthiness, and she takes the money back to our secretary and it gets locked up every night. And the 2 cashiers wear a green sparkle visor to represent green for the color of responsibility. And the person that bakes the pizza is Karen, and very careful with the pizzas. And we also use the iTube to find out in Italy, they have brick pizzas at 880 degrees that can make a pizza in 1 minute. So we always look at the iPad, and they're used to saying, just Google it. And I said, well, how do you spell it? So that's the deal. I'll Google it, but you have to try how to spell it. And so anyway, the iPad has been useful and terrific in many, many ways. And I'd like to thank B.E.S.T for that.
Sounds like a lot of fun. All right, thank you. Our next presenter is Michael Pimpo from Success by 6 project from the Life Center.
Well, good morning. My name is Pastor Michael Pimpo. I run what's called the Life Center in Round Lake Beach. We're just past the county courthouse building off of Nicole Lane, and we're very grateful for the donation and support through the grant that was given for our program that we have at the Life Center called Success by 6. We launched and opened the doors of this program because at the Life Center, our whole mission is about wanting to help people and families. And with the preschool children, they need to get to a level and a benchmark academically before they get into kindergarten. So we've not only been to meetings that the United Way has sponsored in Lake County for individuals and organizations to come to learn how to implement this program, but we've met with teachers. We've had teachers get involved to help teach the class. We offer it 2 times every month, both in English and Spanish, at 2 different times through the morning and in the afternoon. We've currently, since we've launched it about 8 months ago, we've had over 80 preschool children come through the program with their parents to learn how to have the tools necessary so that when they get in kindergarten, they're prepared in numbers and the alphabet, identifying colors, shapes, and sounds, and then getting them excited about reading. I don't know about you, but Children's Day need to read more books. And so we want the children to get excited with that. At a preschool level, I've seen many of these children that have come in that were very grateful because part of the program offers them books, and then they get books for several months after that mailed to the family. We've designed the program to be an outreach to the community on a volunteer basis, so the people that have been starting with this have been volunteer, but with the grant money, we're going to be able to help supplement back the teachers that have been coming and volunteering their time, usually 3 to 5 hours a Saturday when we have the program. We've seen some really tremendous success with it. There is a display over on our table with a PowerPoint presentation where you see some of the graduates of the kids, as we take pictures of the children after they've gone through both sessions. They get a little graduation certificate, and the mom or dad are with them. And again, this program is designed also primarily too for the parent, because a lot of parents don't understand and have the tools necessary to teach their children and get them prepared for kindergarten. So a lot of the parents that we've met with have been very grateful for our support in showing them the tools that they can have at home and how they can then take their child and teach them in the areas of academics. And we've seen some really great responses from the parents as well. If you know anything about what we do, we have the Life Center. We also have what's called Clan Food Pantry, which we help about 2,000 people a month just in the area of needing food, hygiene products, clothing. And so it's provided a tremendous platform to integrate in with the Success by 6 with the families that we are helping on the other side of the building that are in need just of normal things in life. So our trust with these individuals has been gained to where they want to come to the program, and they've been very grateful to us implementing the Success by 6 program. So once again, I just want to say thank you for your support, and feel free to come by and check us out. I have a motto that just says that we make a difference one person at a time. So if you show up at the Life Center or at Plan, we'll put you to work. So you can come for an hour or 3 hours, and you know, it's wonderful to give back in the community, and I just gratefully appreciate all the testimonies that I'm hearing this morning too, regarding the different organizations that have been grant recipients. I think this is a wonderful community in Lake County. We're really seeing a tremendous headway in what we're doing. So thank you for your time. Thanks again.
All right, and our last project that we're going to hear about is the Nineteenth Teen Court Youth Volunteer Training Program. Nancy, introduce students.
My name is Nancy Radford, and I am the supervisor of the Nineteenth Teen Court program. But I also am a member of B.E.S.T. I hate to say this, but I've been a member of B.E.S.T for 13 years. And I think what I'm seeing today is a testimony to what B.E.S.T believes in, and that is the kids in this community. To help them be healthy, happy adults, and I'm seeing that from everything that's being presented today. Those of you that aren't familiar with Teen Court is actually a non-punitive alternative to the branch and juvenile court system. We work with 16 police departments all across Lake County and the Lake County Sheriff's Department to give kids an alternative when they are misdemeanor offenders, first-time misdemeanor offenders, or second-time misdemeanor offenders who have not been to teen court before. They have an opportunity to come through the teen court program. And while we do have a judge that presides with teen court, the jurors are actually high school students from across Lake County. And that is where the B.E.S.T Empowerment Grant came to be. Is 3 years ago, we lost all our funding. And my CASA was bound and determined to keep this program alive. And so when we needed to train our students last year, we now have 187 youth across Lake County that are learning to give back to their community. And so when we were finding ourselves short of funds, I decided to apply for this B.E.S.T Community Empowerment Grant to help provide that training for these youth. And so I think they are the ones that are going to be able to tell you what that money has helped them to do. As a supplement to that, on all of your tables, I put together some information on Teen Court. Most importantly, success stories, because I can stand here all day and give you success stories. So I hope that you'll take that home with you, and that you will read some of the success stories of the young people that we are servicing here in Lake County. I would like to introduce my coworker, Jay Blaburn. She is my teen court coordinator, and I could not do what I do without her. And then I would like to introduce 4 students that are teen court juror volunteers. The first one is Spencer Daniels from Round Lake High School. Hello, my name is Spencer Daniels.
this program and serve the community through Teen Court because it's a great program and it's a great way to give kids who need a second chance that opportunity to not have a mark on their record and be able to live a successful, happy life through their community. I'm very pleased with the experiences that they have given me and how lucky I am to be in this program. I had a close friend go through this program not that long ago who was trying to impress some friends by stealing a teacher's computer. And he was caught and was referred to Teen Court. He no longer hangs out with these kids that try to influence him to steal the computer and is passing all of his classes. I would like to thank B.E.S.T for donating to this program, and your funding will not go to waste. Thank you.
Okay, second student is Angel Dominguez. Angel is also a Round Lake High School student.
Good morning, my name is Angel Dominguez. I'm a junior at Round Lake High School. I first started attending Teen Court towards the end of my freshman year. Since then, I have loved to participate in Teen Court. It has given me plenty of experience, especially life lessons and a preview of how it is to be an attorney. Teen Court has been like a gateway that has led me to a brighter future, not only for me, but for the defendant. Teen Court means that I have the opportunity to try and help my peers realize their mistakes and learn from them. And by helping other teens, I'm also helping my community by encouraging teens to make positive choices. Through helping my peers, I've also learned many valuable lessons. I've learned that sometimes people do need a second chance before they realize what they did was wrong, or that they were not only hurting themselves but others as well. I've also learned that one poor decision can jeopardize one's entire future, like applying for college, signing up for the military, or even applying for a job. Teen Court helps teens realize all the effects of their decisions. Teen Court has a very positive effect on the defendants because it makes them realize just how valuable their second chance really is. It is a second chance that others may never get, and a chance that they will most likely never get in life again. Although some teens choose to disregard their fortunate chance, most teens do realize the seriousness of their wrongdoing and choose to become better citizens. Teen Court benefits the community because it helps the teens who live in the community. Because teens are always experiencing many changes in their lives, they often make mistakes, and Teen Court has helped resolve many of those mistakes. I, like many others, am very grateful in having the opportunity to participate in this great program, and I'm very proud to represent the Teen Court. I would also like to thank the B.E.S.T Coalition for providing the funds for the Teen Court training that helps the youth to serve the community.
The next student is an example I was talking to you about how we trained 187 kids across Lake County for this program. Many of our students choose to go back and forth to the different courts. They have a different experience in every court that they're in. The kids are different, they're from different schools. And so my next presenter is Taylor Newton, and it's my fault. I put the wrong thing on there. She's actually from Warren. You know what I was thinking as a senior bond. But she is actually from Warren Township High School, but she serves in Round Lake and helps the students in our community, or the kids in our community.
Good morning, everybody. I would first like to start out by thanking the B.E.S.T Coalition for providing funding to be able to allow Mikasa to train and prepare young adults to help their community and keep their program going, which I enjoy very much. Teen Court has taught me many lessons. I learned to be respectful and respect the people in my community as well as myself. I learned the consequences to serious crimes and what happens when you break the law. Teen Court has taught me to do well in school and try to keep me doing my very best in order to be a part of this program, because you have to keep your grades up too. Teen Court means a lot to me because it makes me feel good that I'm doing something positive for my community and the defendants that appear in Teen Court. Teen Court is able to give the kids a second chance and hopefully avert them from going down a path that involves criminal activity. Being a Teen Court juror helps us all realize that no one is perfect and everyone makes mistakes. It has taught us to accept and not judge others because we do not know their life story or why they did what they did. I've learned not to make people feel bad for what they did or feel bad about Instead, we are taught to encourage them to change their life paths they're currently on. This opportunity has an astonishing effect on the defendants because they are given a second chance and an opportunity to learn from their mistake. When a defendant comes to teen court, we give them a consequence, and it usually includes a paper, a track class, community service, and anything else we feel the defendant needs to do. This teaches the defendant responsibility and time management skills. We also try to give them additional help if they need it. Sometimes we will give the defendant a sentence that includes spending time with one or both parents to closer or tighter bond. This program has a fantastic effect on the community as well as the defendant. This program helps the kids and young adults keep off the streets and makes you feel safer in the community as a whole. Our goal in Teen Court Jurors is to teach these kids and young adults to be positive role models for other community and inspires others to do well. I would like to thank you again for funding this program and giving us this wonderful opportunity to be able to help others and help our community.
I saved my toughest attorney and juror for the end. This is Erica Martinez.
She gives the kids a run for their money, let me tell you.
Good morning to you all. Like she said, my name is Erica Martinez, and I've been a Teen Court juror for 10 months now. I would like to thank the B.E.S.T Coalition for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be part of this wonderful program. I think I speak for our entire community when I say Teen Court has been a blessing. I have witnessed many defendants transform their life after completing Teen Court. Teen Court gives the defendants a second opportunity I think everyone deserves to have. Not only that, but also Teen Court is so beautiful structure that instead of punishing the defendants, Teen Court guides them into realizing what they're doing is wrong and serving our community. Teen Court helps them realize that they can be a better person and live a better life. Teen Court is great, and I'm glad to be part of this amazing community and amazing program. Thank you for your time, and enjoy your breakfast.
Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. Do you see how exciting all of this is? I mean, I think it's just absolutely wonderful that we have all of this ingenuity and the talent and the people who are really enthusiastic and trying to work at this to get the grants. And we're always looking for more. So please, if you have a project that you are considering and you'd like to present it to us, please do. The applications will be online shortly. And so anyway, that's great. So keep thinking about it. Well, it is my privilege now to introduce our guest speaker today, Judge George Bridges. From what I've heard from friends, community members, and people from the court system, I am confident that Judge Bridges is just the person to rev up our community. I have a very modest bio I'd like to share with you. George Bridges is a circuit judge of the 19th Judicial Circuit located in Lake County. He is currently the supervising judge in the Criminal Felony Division. Judge Bridges was appointed a judge in 1995, and since his appointment, he has handled cases ranging from civil disputes to murder. In 1975, George Bridges began his career in public service as a Waukegan police officer. He was promoted through every rank within the police department, ultimately becoming the chief of police. Judge Bridges is a member of several legal organizations, boards, committees, and task forces. He has dedicated his entire career to public service, and over his lengthy and esteemed career, he's been the recipient of numerous awards and honors in recognition of his work in the community. Judge Bridges, we're looking forward to you. Thank you very much for coming.
My wife must have wrote that. I am very pleased here this morning to have this opportunity to come to this community organization and to give a tribute and recognition to the B.E.S.T Coalition. What I can tell you is that this organization, from what I've heard, is a very powerful organization in your community. And while you may not be able to see all of the fruits and benefits of this organization today, I can tell you it will speak volumes for you in the future. Your organization has a clear sense of what the community needs to remain healthy and strong. And for that, each of you, all of the organizations and the members of this coalition should be thanked. And let's give everybody applause. At a time when our attention is riveted on our nation's atrocities, we need to remember the men and women and organizations that have devoted their resources and efforts to better our community, and this is one. At a time when so many people are trapped in fear, we need to remember those who are giving a helping hand to lift people's lives and spirits by providing the tools that enrich all of our communities. So, again, it is very fitting for me here today to honor this organization that brings everyone's strength together, B.E.S.T. All over the world, people are striving for freedom, except at times in America. From my viewpoint of in the court, what I see in America is so many young people are striving to be in bondage to drugs as they chase that insatiable desire for that high, bondage to gangs and teenage pregnancy, and yes, to future joblessness. I see that all right playing out in front of me in my courts and as my career in law enforcement. You see, we are in a battle to save our children and our communities. Never before have the people in our communities, our children, been confronted with the problems and of the magnitude that they are here today. Just come in my courtroom and you'll see, and you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't need to tell you that our streets and our cities are unsafe and that more youth are at risk than ever before in our nation's history. Our children's future, that of hopelessness, despair, and drug abuse and death unless communities come together such as this. We need to have the communities involved. At times, our society seems to be content with running a rescue service at the bottom of the cliff. Oh yeah, we're good at that. We're good at picking up our children when they crash and burn and fall off the cliff in this world. There goes the rescue squad at the bottom of the cliff waiting to take some child to the hospital. Or the police are at the bottom of the cliff to take some child who has fallen to jail. Or we have those members, the family members, who are there to take their child to a drug treatment facility because he or she has fallen off the cliff. Yes, we're good at being a rescue squad at the bottom of the cliff, just waiting for our young people to crash and burn. But what we need to have is more people on the top of the cliff. More people who are up there putting out the warning signs, talking about teenage pregnancy, talking about drug abuse, talking about criminal activity. And what I see and what I've heard this morning is this community is there. They're at the top of the cliff. They're providing those warning signs by being involved in these various programs. Yes, I was involved in scouting, and I can tell you that scouting so impacted my life. It made me who I am. I know that but for scouting and a number of the other programs that I've heard here today, that I would be in court, but I wouldn't be on that side of the bench hearing criminal cases. I would be in front of the judge. So thank you for the scouting. I thank you for the teen court. I just saw the statistics on this teen court. So many young people are diverted out of our system before they get that scarlet letter of being a criminal or being a felon or even a juvenile offender, because they're able to go through the teen court and come out without having that scarlet letter that will follow them all of their lives. You see, when you have a community such as this, who is willing to work on the top of the cliff, you will make a difference. And you're going to see it played out in the lives of your children. Put those flashing lights out, warning the children of the pending abuses of drugs and gangs, the warning signs. Continue to do that. Continue to be involved in these programs and change the lives of your children. Again, I must salute this magnificent organization and all of the people who work so tirelessly for this coalition, and the individuals and the corporate sponsors that are donating money for this great cause. You are the cutting edge of one of the most exciting opportunities that you have for your community here. Do we roll up our sleeves and volunteer and get involved, or do we pass the buck so that someone else can do it? Well, what I can tell you is, from what you hear here, the success will only come from rolling up your sleeves and getting involved. Because on the other side, when they crash and burn, they appear before me. And too often, it is hopeless. Too often, it is too late. Gandhi said, "We must be the change we wish to see in this world." His words don't suggest that we sit around and talking about making a difference. It tells us to get involved and to act. And that's what I see with B.E.S.T. Your efforts make a big difference in the lives of those you touch. It makes a big difference in the lives of those you touch. As you all know, sometimes all one needs to get through a difficult situation is a helping hand. Early child education. How much more help can we provide by reaching out to the very youngest of our communities and helping them? The reading programs that I heard about. You have to read some of the letters written to me by the inmates who are in jail to realize that we have not taught them how to read. We have not taught them how to write. And these programs that you have in place will help your community. You have invested a considerable amount of time and energy in building your community, and all of you will benefit from it, including me, and I live in Waukegan. We will all profit from your involvement in this community because it will enrich the entire Lake County community. It starts here in Round Lake, and it will continue to grow. Dr. Martin Luther King, in his famous speech to Drum Major Instinct, delivered 2 months to the day before his assassination, spoke of the many ways in which we desire to be first, to be noticed, and how it can distort one's life, how it can cause us to live beyond our means, chasing after the Joneses. He spoke of people dropping names and calling attention to their status in life just so that they can feel important. But what he taught us in that message, the word for our world, was a new definition of greatness. He said, if you want to be great, you must be willing to be a servant of others. And I would submit to you that practicing this tenet will be far more worthy to your community than the individual pursuits that some are endeavoring to engage in. That is, having people who are willing to sacrifice and to serve others is obviously the best thing that we can do. Listen to his words. He said, if you want to be important, wonderful. If you want to be recognized, wonderful. If you want to be great, wonderful. But recognize that he who is greatest amongst you shall be your servant. That's a new definition of greatness. And this morning, the thing that I like about it is by giving this definition of greatness, it means that everybody can be great because everybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You don't have to know about Plato and Aristotle to serve. You don't have to know about Einstein's theory of relativity to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love, and you can be that servant. I hope that Martin's words will continue to challenge you to remain servant leaders of your community. I hope these words will inspire you to become drum majors in the areas of lasting values. A drum major for the spirit of community. A drum major for the love of community. A drum major for volunteerism. A drum major for Round Lake. I wrote a poem many years ago, and I think it's fitting to talk about all of you who are involved in dealing with the various races that we're dealing with in this world. Lift off, heading towards the moon, only striving towards Earth's doom. Our nation's goals to make the bomb a trophy of fallout, death, and alarm. Why not race for me? The dream we all race from rags to riches, leaving a prize cup of ghostly slums left by the ambitious. The spread from war to war, mothers with sons are afraid to answer their door, and yet not a race for me. Yet in our world of races, no race has made me pleased, for there are no dashes for helping the sick, nor to cure the disease. The hungry are still unfed, and the poor are still unclothed, and yet not a gallop to end their suffering souls. Every day there is a race for me. Well, you see, there's a race for our children, folks. There is a race. There are people, there are things that are calling our children that we need to be aware of. And if you're not involved in the race, if you're sitting on the sidelines, our children will crash and burn. And what I can see is that this community here is involved in the race, racing for the lives of our children. I want to talk about the legend of the starfish. I know some of you heard it, but I think it's very fitting for us here today. And the story talks about a vacationing businessman who was walking along the beach when he saw this young lad walking along the shore where many starfish had washed up onto the beach because of the rising tide. And they were sure to die before the tide would return and allow them to return to the ocean. And this boy was walking along slowly on the beach, occasionally reaching down and picking up the starfish that had been beached and gently tossing it back into the ocean. And so this businessman, hoping to teach this young lad a lesson on common sense, walked up to the young lad and said to him, "I've been watching what you've been doing." And he said, "You have a good heart, and I know you mean well, but do you realize how many starfish are located on beaches throughout the world who are dying every day? Surely such an industrialist, kind-hearted boy such as yourself can find something else to do better with your time than walking the beach and throwing in starfish. Do you really think that you're going to make a difference?" And the boy looked up at the man, and then he looked down at the starfish at his feet. He picked that starfish up, and he gently tossed it into the ocean. And he said, "It makes a difference to that one. It makes a difference to that one." Every one of you here, all of these organizations, you're making a difference to someone. It is so important. And so my charge to you folks today is to be like the oil in the water, to be like the cream in the milk, and that's to rise to the top on every occasion for your community around Lake. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Bridges, for that inspirational message. You have given us quite a bit to think about. I want to welcome Wendy Gordon to the microphone so she can just give a little bit of information about membership.
Thank you. I'm going to abbreviate the planned part of the program here so I can get us back on schedule. Everything this morning has been so wonderful. Every speaker, every organization. I just want the people still in the room. If you're a member of B.E.S.T, can you raise your hand? Are you not just overflowing with joy of our good work? We are running the marathon for the Round Lake area. If you did not raise your hand, I'd like to invite you to see me up front before you leave so you can pick up an application and be part
of running the marathon, because it's a relay race. We've got to pass the baton. We need many, many runners to make this a success in the long term. So that is all I want to share. You can keep us moving.
Thank you, Wendy. I want to mention that officer elections are going to take place in May, and I want to thank everyone for the opportunity to serve on the B.E.S.T Coalition for the past 2 years. It's been a wonderful experience, and I've witnessed firsthand what a group of dedicated volunteers can truly accomplish. So please welcome Judy Armstrong, Secretary, and in her role as nominations chair.
Thank you. Thank you. I know everybody's eager to go, so we're going to move this right along. Our nominations committee, Georgianne Duberstein and Shirley Christian, have met with me, and we have come up with a slate to be our drum majors for next year. Kathy Myers is nominated for president. Pete Malador has accepted the challenge of being our treasurer for next year. Jeannie Kirby is going to be our secretary for next year, and I have agreed to run for vice president. Now, all of that is the proposal. We have our elections at our next meeting. If anyone is interested in running for any of those positions, please see Georgianne or Shirley or I. Let us know. There will also be nominations from the floor. So, that's the plan for next year. Thanks.
Thank you, Judy. Some of the members, we've left minutes on your table, and hope you've had a chance to look those over. I would like to ask for a motion to approve the minutes from March. Pete? Marlon, a second?
Yes, second.
Okay. Any opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And for the treasurer's report, please?
For the treasurer's reports for the month of March, there was no activity, which leaves us a balance in the B.E.S.T account of $11,106.47. A little message for those of you that are thinking you might need a grant. We have some money to fund that. And in our character counts account, again for the month of March, there was no activity with a balance of $7,858.
Thank you, Pete. Is there a motion to approve that report? Georgianne, a second? Carolina, any opposed? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Our next meeting is going to be May 9th, right here at the center. Thank you very much and have a great weekend.